Everybody's journey is individual, wrote author James Baldwin. On this, the centennial of Baldwin's birth, Califasane finds more and more attention is being paid to his singular journey.
It is now with very great pleasure and a very great...
In 1965, in the packed Cambridge Union Society in London,
I find myself, not for the first time, in the position of a kind of Jeremiah.
James Baldwin, a voice of the civil rights movement, debated the commentator William F. Buckley, who was skeptical of the cause. The topic? That, quote, the American dream has been achieved at the expense of the American Negro.
It comes as a great shock, around the age of 5 or 6 or 7, to discover that the flag to which you have pledged allegiance, along with everybody else, has not pledged allegiance to you.
Baldwin won in a landslide, 554 votes to 164.
He didn't go to college, he ain't educated, he's po.
Yeah.
He grew up in a place that isn't supposed to be able to hold fire with Buckley and with anyone.
At the age of 24, Baldwin moved to France, where he wrote his first novel, Go Tell It on the Mountain, and his first collection of essays, Notes of a Native Son. In the 60s, he kind of acquires this reputation in America as a celebrity, as an oracle.
At the heart of who he was an integrationist who really sort of believed that there were these opportunities for America to live up to her principles and values. He's using his writings as a way to be autobiographical, but it becomes a portrait of America ultimately.
Professor Paul Weiss, a Sterling Professor of Philosophy at Yale. Were you able to listen to the show backstage?
A good deal of it, but then I was behind the rostrum gate.
Yes.
So I heard only some of it.
Did you hear anything that you disagreed with? Or
I
that
disagreed with a great deal of it. And, of course, there's a good deal I agree with. But I think he's overlooking one very important matter, I think. Each one of us, I think, is terribly alone. He lives his own individual life. There's all kinds of obstacles in the way of religion or color or size or shape or lack of ability. And the problem is to become a man.
Well, what I was discussing was not that problem, really. I was discussing the difficulties, the obstacles, the very real danger of death thrown up by the society when a black man attempts to become a man.
All this emphasis upon black man and white does emphasize something which is here, but it emphasizes it or perhaps exaggerates it, and therefore makes us put people together in groups which they ought not to be in. I have more in common with a black scholar than I have with a white man who's against scholarship. And you have more in common with a white author than you have with someone who's against all literature. So why must we always concentrate on color or religion or this? There are other ways of connecting men.
I'll tell you this. When I left this country in 1948, I left this country for one reason only, one reason. I didn't care where I went. I might have gone to Hong Kong, I might have gone to Timbuktu. I ended up in Paris, on the streets of Paris, with $40 in my pocket on the theory that nothing worse could happen to me there than had already happened to me here. You talk about making it as a writer by yourself. You have to be able then to turn off all the antenna with which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You may die. And it's very hard to sit at a typewriter and concentrate on that if you're afraid of the world around you. The years I lived in Paris did one thing for me. They released me from that particular social terror, which was not the paranoia of my own mind, but a real social danger visible in the face of every cop, every boss, everybody. I don't know what most white people in this country feel, but I can only conclude what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know that we have a Christian church which is white and a Christian church which is black. I know, as Malcolm X once put it, that the most segregated hour in American life is high noon on Sunday. That says a great deal for me about a Christian nation. It means that I can't afford to trust most white Christians, and certainly cannot trust the Christian church. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter, but I know I'm not in their unions. I don't know if the real estate lobby is anything against black people, but I know the real estate lobbies keep me in the ghetto. I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks they give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.